All right, Timmy, back day 2 days in a row. We've never done this before.
Back
you and
to
I,
back.
you and I too. I don't think we have at least. You and I both 2 days in a row. That's it. Zooming again, zooming and booming. Then we're gonna have some other people on here as we go. But what's changed since yesterday?
Zooming, booming, and breaking news.
What, to have other people?
Yeah.
Well, but you
breaking.
knew that.
Yeah.
We just sent a video to one of the people of the Zoom setup that we'll probably have on in the next couple of days. Speaking of coffee, I'm drinking Our City coffee. Use the code BS. Get 15% off at ourcitycoffee.com. It's our coffee company developed locally here in Los Angeles. Did you see that? Oh, we talked about a give back with a person. I commented on that person to see what we could do with them from a business standpoint. Timmy, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, and nobody knows what we're talking about anyway. But speaking of Our City Coffee, we just launched our first ever official collab last week with Dee Murthy, who is the CEO and co-founder. Do those make sense?
Yep.
Those titles?
Yep.
Co-founder
Yep.
of 5-4 Club, Menlo Club, Young and Reckless.
New Republic.
New Republic, that's the one I couldn't
Yeah. Yeah.
New Republic, and the co-host of Group Chat Podcast. Cool, super cool dude, well-known dude. How this even came about, he had posted something about just drinking coffee on his page. I reached out and I said, hey, can we send you some Our City coffee? So we did that. He liked the coffee, of course, and then said, why don't you guys come in for a meeting? This was, a month ago now?
Yeah, something like that.
Weeks ago, for sure.
Yeah.
So we went to the HQ. What was the sign? Was it Menlo Club? Was that the official?
No, it's Reckless.
Oh, it was Young and Reckless. Okay.
When you walk in, it's Young and Reckless.
Okay. So we go to Young and Reckless HQ, sit down. He's like, hey, this would be a fun content play, something for us to talk about. We put his face on the label, make a different kind of blend for it, grind it up for him, which was his preference.
Yeah.
And do a limited release. And now, so we dropped that Thursday. And it was cool, like behind the scenes of all that was they put together a full content plan on their end. Okay, here's where we're going to announce it. Here's where we're going to post about it. Here's when we're going to talk about it on the podcast. Here's where we're going to post on Menlo Club. Dee's going to post on his personal, this day on Twitter, this day on Instagram.
The email list, yeah.
Email list, all of it blasted out. So today is Tuesday. So what is that? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 5 days later, and we're almost sold out, which is cool. Our first ever collab. Hopefully we can do some more with him. Hopefully he likes it.
Yeah, it's been cool. He's definitely active, and he seems to really enjoy it. And we know he likes the coffee too, so that's a plus.
Yeah, it is. And initially the thought was he does a Menlo Club run club or at least a couple times. It might be every Saturday, at least a couple times.
I think it's every Saturday, yeah.
So our initial thought was, again, this is when we first talked, there wasn't the shutdown of all this stuff. So it was like, let's go sample coffee. We'll make this special coffee for Dee's roast, and then we'll sample it for people there, have it for sale, and maybe we'll sell some backs at the actual run club, and then we'll announce it publicly. But there ain't no run clubs. Everything's shut down, obviously.
Yeah.
But we did it.
Yeah, I think once this dies down, we'll do the run club and we'll do some coffee and maybe we'll reboot the limited release or something. Yeah.
Yeah, or part 2.
Yeah.
Like that. All right, Timmy, next. Let's talk. I sent this over to you yesterday. So Major League Baseball, they're catching a lot of shit, but some people are into it too. New proposed rules to come back to play because everyone's trying to figure out a way to how do we get back to doing what we're doing because they got to make money. There's NBA is doing talks of some crazy things, and maybe am I cutting out?
Your audio just did, but NBA talking about going to Vegas potentially,
Yeah. So NBA is talking about going to Vegas. I heard something about Idaho, but a place where it's secluded, and everyone go there for weeks at a time.
Just the players,
Just the players and essential staff type stuff. And then Like NFL games with nobody in the stands, and just like there's a lot of craziness going on. But MLB had a post proposing that was leaked yesterday. The plan includes 7-inning doubleheaders. They'd mic up the players, and they'd have the players sitting in empty stands 6 feet apart. Your thoughts, Tim? How wild would that be?
Fucking love it. MLB needs something like this. Like it needed a change, and they're just forced to do something now. And I think they're taking a play out of like the NBA's book, where they're like, "Cool, let's do some cool shit because we have to now." I think that could be like the best thing that ever happens to MLB.
That'd be really cool if they did it. Now, who knows what this means and if how realistic it even is? But I think that'd be really cool.
Especially the mic'd up 7. I mean, that's what we've been talking about for a while. That's what they need. They need more energy. They need more when we were talking about XFL, different angles, showing different things of like, here's what the XFL is doing, implement this in the MLB, but it sounds kind of similar.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if they did. I don't know what the realistic plans are, and obviously this all is changing constantly. What they can do, what they want to do. Yeah. Everyone wants to make their money though. From the owners to the players, and from baseball is so different too, where it's not just owners, players, or owners, teams, players. It's minor league systems, minor league teams. There's a whole ecosystem in the minor league too.
I wonder
people that aren't playing.
It can't be that hard to keep the minor league games going though. Like once, obviously everything's shut down right now, but that might be the first step to any sport. Is people really? I mean, they don't get a whole lot of people at those lower level ones, anyways. But it's just like the athletes playing together, maybe distancing in the dugout a little bit. But other than that, it might be okay to go.
Yeah, maybe. Well, and even just think about this. So when they start the season up, there's got to be a ramp up here. There'll have to be the spring training. It'll be a summer training probably. So there'll have to be weeks going into that. Yeah. So there's that start. So I don't even know if they'll play. I mean, they got to play some kind of minor league baseball, but I wonder if the lowest, the single A's or whatever those independent leagues and that kind of stuff that are the lowest of the low on the totem pole, if they'll even do stuff or how they'll do it, or who knows. But you're right, because there won't be as many people. Not as many people go to those. So from a fan perspective, it wouldn't be that different if there's only 500 fans normally, and now you got 0. Like you can't feed off that energy, but.
Yeah,
what it is.
Yeah, but it's
I thought it was a cool idea, though.
And maybe they'll be able to capitalize like a WNBA, where maybe they get live prime time ESPN because they're the only thing playing at the time. You never know.
Yeah. You think we talked about it yesterday with the WNBA, the cool stuff, the taking advantage of it. I think one single person will do that. I've got your answer. It's probably no. It's probably nobody. It's probably no one, man. They'll do the same shit. Same shit, same managers, same agents. They do the same freaking thing. Frickin'. I just said frickin'. I can't say fuck. Same fucking thing.
Frickin' kids might be watching.
Frickin' damn kids. They do the same damn shit, and they won't be innovative. They'll come. So I sent you this after we did our podcast yesterday. We talked about NFL and doing some cool stuff, like what we would do from a behind the scenes perspective, showcasing the process of the day. You brought up the idea of having branding and make that a brand play, which is very easy, simple to do. And even to make those the brand play with the behind the scenes type video stuff. But they're also doing the virtual, EA Sports is doing the virtual, how did they word it? Remember what I said?
Virtual, like walk across the,
I'll pull it up on my Insta.
Walk across the desk, or not the desk.
EA Sports will create EA Sports will create a virtual moment of the prospect walking out on stage with the commissioner, which could be pretty cool, depending on how they do it. It probably will be cool, but still not as cool for the person.
No, yeah, it's just weird, but yeah, it's cool.
And then each prospect will choose a high school to receive a $2,500 grant towards their football program. I wonder.
Is that top 10 or what's that limited to?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I doubt that's all 7 rounds. I don't know. Didn't say in the tweet. That's from Ian Rappaport. But still interesting and cool to be able to do those things.
Yeah,
Same thing with the NFL guys. Is how many agents, managers are really thinking outside of what they do normally? How can I capitalize on this? the thing is, they think, well, my money is in the contract, which it is. You're making good money off that contract. But to me, the back end perspective and the bigger part of a brand, of building the brand, can be done with some of these other things like the NFL draft type of thing.
I think, yeah, building the brand, and also like just the idea of having your own footage of draft day when you get drafted is for like just a keepsake would be cool enough as it is.
Yeah. Did I cut out again?
No, you were good. Did I? I must have. Did I? Oh,
No.
You look like.
I think so. I got my earphones on again. These are Liv's, not mine. These are Liv's earphones, the AirPods. So I'm wondering if they're connected to her phone still when she gets close enough, because she's
You think
probably
so?
20 feet away from me in the other room. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, anything else on that? I've got my idea pitch that I want to pitch.
I think. Well, before you go into that, I think.
Okay.
Well, because I heard NHL is now looking at North Dakota to do their season, and same type of system where players only, essential staff, and they play with no fans in an isolated area and kind of almost tournament style where everyone just stays there and they just ramp through. I think that's what it's going to be like, at least for the near future, the next 3 months. And up until football season, I think where we can at least maybe see fans. The governor of California came out and said there won't be any fans in football starting in September either. But that, again, that could all change, the vaccine or whatever comes into play, that changes the whole dynamic of everything. But right now he's saying no football fans in September in California.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
That's going to affect a lot of things. Think about college football.
Yeah.
Think about lower level college football. Like at Bowling Green where we went, no fans at the game. Think about the money, the dollars.
Super weird.
Yeah, the dollars that they lose. My hair is long.
Yeah,
it's wild today.
Yeah, maybe that just like sparks a new. Someone innovates something where it's like you get like an XFL camera angle subscription, and then you pay $10 to that local. Like we pay $10 to Bowling Green because we like Bowling Green. We pay, whatever it might be, and maybe someone just invents something really cool like that, and they can still generate revenue.
Like an access type thing. I mean, I think every team should have a premium platform, premium access type thing from college to maybe not pro, because they get so much money on the back end, and then they're not going to show any more than you're already seeing.
I think so too.
From a team perspective,
even pros. Think about how like Romo, how like in depth he is, and how he's predicting. I would pay for this subscription if it was like if CBS had 2 levels, like. Level 1, they're going to go in depth, Tony Romo and beyond, of like, here's like people who are like hardcore nerds about football and want to see like inside the brain of like a Tony Romo and let him just nerd out for a second.
Yeah.
And maybe it's $5 more a month or $10 more a month, as opposed to like a standard broadcast. I could see them splitting that off too, even. I would pay for that. For sure I would.
Yeah.
But I don't know how many people would.
You can't have two broadcasts. Because
you have it in Spanish, you have it in English. It's saying
not
from a technology standpoint. It's
because then you got Pat Curran versus Tony Romo, and I look like an asshole if nobody's listening to my feed, even though I'm in the same booth 4 feet away from Tony Romo. Yeah, I don't think. But so. I think there's
just a different experience. That's all.
Yeah, I think they could do more with it. They could definitely do it, the premium type thing anyway, but. And then some teams are starting to do this. A decent amount of teams are starting to do this, which I like, is having content from a player perspective. So they have like podcasts. I saw the Jazz have a podcast with a couple other guys, and a couple other teams are starting to do team player focused content. And that could be upsells.
Yeah.
I like when you're the NBA, NFL. I don't like having paywalls from that stuff though. I'd rather see what player X has to say and what they're talking about and vibe, and use that to grow depth from the brand perspective instead of trying to get more money. But I mean, I guess it depends. Situationally, maybe I think differently, but that's my general thought on it.
Well, that's different. A team doing it is different than a broadcast, like a CBS or Fox doing it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I also think we could, if we find the right people and talk to the right people, help them create their own podcasts to pitch to the team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, here's my idea, Timmy. So UFC
Well,
240,
talk to me.
UFC 249 is announced. We know another fight happening, but let's pretend we don't know that fight right now. So UFC
Okay.
249 is announced. Here's my idea. Dana White comes out for the next cards. And here's what he does. He puts cameras at. Let me backtrack. So Dana White comes out. He goes, all right, I'm going to announce the rest of the fights. And person X or people. I'm not explaining this well. I'm too excited about the idea.
Take three. Go ahead.
So if you're a fighter, you just say, yeah, Dana, I'm down to fight. Give me at least 2 weeks notice. So what Dana White comes out and says, he says, all right, here's what I got. I got Tim Curran, Pat Curran. I got James Krause, Megan Anderson. I got all these people ready to fight. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a selection show. So he comes out. How big would this be? He gets it on ESPN for the next card coming out. And you don't know that you're fighting on the card yet even. You're sitting here watching. We got phones set up. It's Selection Sunday. Dana White comes out and he goes, all right, we've got on May Henry.
Oh,
I'm out.
Cut out a little bit.
I'm cutting out. I'm going to wait till I'm back.
You're back.
All right. On May 9th, we've got – I'm back? Okay. On May 9th, we've got Henry Cejudo versus Jose Aldo. And then you get the reaction to them. Okay, they know that fight. Then you go, Dominic Cruz says he'll fight. He's going to fight Peter Yan. And it's like it's an actual selection show. Then we can go to Dominic Cruz at his home in San Diego, talk to him through a Zoom conversation. How damn cool would that be? How big would that be?
Yeah.
Just give the guys a couple weeks or whatever the month is. Like, hey, I'm going to give you a month's notice. You're going to be fighting in May. So just be prepared. It's either going to be this weekend or that weekend. We're not going to tell you the opponent quite yet because we're going to make a big announcement of it. You might have an idea, but some people might be total surprised. Like, hey, I'm like James Krause. I know he's the type of dude to be like, just send me the contract and I'm in. So you might have no idea who he's fighting.
Yeah, I think I love it, by the way. I think there's –
How great would that be? That'd be so massive.
I could see Dana doing that too.
I could see Dana doing that as well. The only issue would be is can you contractually do that? A lot of people aren't just going to be like, yep, I'm fighting. I think this is a unique situation where it might work though, where people just say, hey, I'm in. Dana, I don't care.
There's enough.
Put me on a card.
I think there's enough guys and gals that I've seen being like, I'm staying ready because they missed, was it 3 cards?
3
because of it? So how many people on a card? Like, was that 26 people or something like that total?
Yeah, 12 or 13 fights usually 12 to 14 fights.
So 20, you're the math guy. 26 times 3 fights. It's 70, 80 fighters. Call it 80 fighters that haven't fought that are waiting to fight. Who have been training. So yeah, I mean, there's people that are ready.
I think they could do it, and I think Dana would love the idea of doing something like that. I just don't know if logistically on the back end, if you can say, all right, Tim's down to fight, Pat's down to fight. I'm not telling you who you're fighting. Watch Sunday night, ESPN, 8 p.m., prime time. I'm coming out. Here's my 13 fights for this card. Island fights, UFC 250.
I think the only thing Dana White wouldn't like out of that is there's no crowd. Your boy likes a crowd.
What do you mean?
Well, he can't announce it in front of 20,000 people, which he would.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it is you're watching on TV. It's just the setup could be as simple as this with Dana. He's talking, and then we've got cameras on, Dom Cruz and Peter Yan and, all the – I think that would be so damn cool.
It would be. Pitch it to him.
I'm going to pitch it. I'm going to tag Dana. I'm going to tag Sean Shelby, the matchmaker, Mick Maynard. Mick Maynard follows me, so maybe he'll actually see it and they'll take the idea. If they take the idea, Mick, if he listens to the podcast after, because I won't cut this part, if Mick listens, I want credit for it. Okay.
And tickets to the island.
We can't go. Tickets when we're back up doing real shit again.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? So did we talk about that yesterday about the island? Yeah, we did.
I don't remember. That was yesterday. Who the hell remembers yesterday?
Well, we have so many conversations that aren't on here recorded that it's like, did we talk about that on here or not? Or what to the Fs? Tim, anything else?
What do you think people do to remember stuff like that? There's got to be some tricks. Like,
I don't know. You're the memory.
Like, no, not anymore, man. I talked to you about something. I talked to, 3 other people about something, but then I try to remember who did I talk to about that. There's got to be like some kind of memory trick game.
I don't know, but I think
somebody help me out here.
You
DM
and Liv.
DM me.
Slide in the DMs. You and Liv are the same to me, where it's like you are the two people I talk to the most. Where it's like, did I tell you that, or I tell Liv that?
Yeah.
I'm telling, or sometimes I'm in the middle of telling one of you guys a story, and did I tell them that already?
Yeah.
Did I tell them I talked to this person? And some it doesn't make sense to tell Liv that. And some it doesn't make sense to tell you that. But there's so much crossover of what we're talking about in life and biz and yada yada.
Yep. All right, go cut this up and tag Dana.
I'm gonna tag Dana.
Let's see if he'll do it.
What sucks is that this podcast won't be up for forever because
that's right.
Interwebs are going so slow. So this is what we've been talking 20 minutes. I'll cut this up. Am I muted?
No.
All right. We'll cut this up, or I'll cut it up. I'll put it up. It'll be ready to go in 25 minutes because that's how quick I can do it. And it'll take it. Yesterday it took 2.5 hours to upload to YouTube. It's up on Anchor pretty quickly, which is where we host the podcast. If you're listening, you already know that because you heard the ad read at the beginning of this podcast. Timmy, let's get back to work.
Peace.
Goodbye.